So how did you discover that doing calligraphy was your superpower?
It's not the only one, but I've been doing it for a few years now.
Yeah.
My name is Darren and I'm an artist. I've been an artist since I was a kid. And a couple years back, I found an old fountain pen, a bit like this one, in the electrical laboratory at the university. Started tinkering with it,
Yeah.
and then I found that liquid ink from a fountain pen is a more economically sustainable version of those Mitsubishi rollerball liquid ink pens, and I loved writing with those and drawing with those for ages. But then I found that the fountain pen like this, you can refill the ink very cheaply, and not be afraid of wasting ink ever. So what I do, you open it up and it's like a little syringe in there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's something like that.
Yeah.
And this particular one, it's a vintage 1970s or 80s Parker 45. I found that I like the old ones. It feels like you're writing with a bit of history. And I've dabbled in calligraphy and general fine arts for a while. It's been a hobby alongside my educational endeavors in electrical engineering and professional endeavors in web design.
Okay. Which university did you find the pen in?
It was at University of Bath. They had a 24-hour lab that was it was open 24 hours, and it was where people went to spend 24 hours of hell. Somebody forgot a pen there. It's just some cheap and yucky fountain pen, but it worked well, and it piqued my interest enough to get me started on a little collection. Like I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And then I've just been scouting eBay and such like for flea markets and second-hand shops and stuff for old fountain pens.
Cool.
And yeah, it's fun to do. I recommend taking it up.
Oh yeah. So was that kind of a happy accident that helped you discover?
Guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's helped me improve my writing a little bit as well, because I've always been a slow, slightly messy writer.
Yeah.
I've always been able to read my writing, but then it's never. I wouldn't say it's ever looked particularly fantastic. But the writing with the fountain pen nibs, even the simplest ones, plus the liquid ink, it will force you to write better.
Yes. Okay.
And it'll turn your average letter or birthday card into something a bit special.
Okay. And how many fountain pens do you have then yourself?
Too many.
Okay.
You don't really need more than one, as long as you've got like one decent one. But I've got, let me think, 10, 15 maybe different ones. I try to keep like all of them different brands or different nibs. So I've got my first one was a Parker Vector with a bunch of broad nibs. It's just cheap steel nibs, but because it writes with very broad strokes, it's one of my favorites. And then I lucked into an eBay auction where I got a few with golden nibs.
Okay.
Gold nibs are more flexible than steel nibs. They're a little bit more temperamental, so they will tend to like dump more ink onto the page, which lets you do very artistic twirls and swirls and stuff. But at the same time, after writing a couple letters, it'll dry out and you'll need to shake it a bit. Okay. This is one of those. So it's a 14 karat English gold nib.
Okay. Wow.
And they're very good pens though. And what's the other one? At a car boot sale near here, I found a Lamy Vista, I think it was. It's a German brand. Very fine nib. It's the sort you could use for technical drawing. Very well engineered, as everything German. And the rest is sort of like variants of that. Like even the cheap Chinese pens you can get on Amazon or eBay. Jin Hao, I think, is the brand, but they're snobs will complain about them, but I've had very good experiences.
It's snobs are snobs no matter what hobby that you have. If I'm kind of into watches, so the snobs don't like Invicta watches or Tag Heuer watches. So if you mention them, they go crazy. So
that's it. But like, yeah, even like a Chinese pen, it'll write. The main thing is dumping ink onto a page
Yeah.
and being able to refill the ink canister
Yeah.
afterwards. That's the main thing, because well, any pen can dump ink
Yeah.
onto a page.
Yeah.
A big ballpoint will
Yes.
dump greasy ink onto
Yeah.
a page and leave sort of smudges.
I've
and stuff.
seen some artists on Facebook, and all they use for doing their art is big ball points, and
Oh,
the art,
yeah.
and the art that they do is very good. So, yeah.
Half of it's
Yeah.
half of it. Most of it is the skill of the artist.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you can dump ink onto a page, that's
Yeah.
the main thing that counts. But if you're looking to develop it a bit further, one of the finest artists I know, he goes a step beyond fountain pens. He uses
Okay.
dip pens.
Okay.
I'm not that good.
Okay.
But
Okay.
and he does very. He's a Japanese guy. Junji Ito is his name. He does a very intricate drawings with dip pens and well, he's a horror artist, so not everyone's cup of tea. But it's super detailed what he does. Super detailed.
Okay.
And it again goes to show that with the skill of the artist, like for me, dip pens are unusable because
Okay.
I need a constant supply of
Okay.
ink. But he does incredible stuff with it. He can do incredible stuff with ballpoints.
Okay.
For me, I just like something that pours liquid ink onto the page.
Cool.